I have figured out that you could get these medications without the pain and the suffering which we all are going through. These are life-saving medications, but medical economics always runs behind innovation. And we are seeing every day many patients come in with the hope and desire that they will get this medication, and there are a lot of impediments. My goal today is to make way through the reality and what is going on with your insurance and how you could get if you're a cash pay and what are the financial criteria for patient assistance. This video, in the description, we will add all the links that you could get it. You could apply for coupons, patient assistance programs, and eligibility criteria. These GLP-1 agonists, they are life-saving. Not only they lead to weight loss, leading to all the mechanical improvements in our body. Our back gets better, our knees get better, our ankle pain goes away. And aesthetically, we have a better self-esteem of ourselves the way we are. In addition, they go to the core of the issue which we have is the cravings. People like to eat or they have difficulty in controlling their cravings. This food noise is a real problem. You are 24/7 thinking about food, and these medications calm down the cravings. They help to make your insulin work better, and they also help to produce more insulin from your body. So you are not stuck in insulin resistant state, and also they shrink your stomach, leading to chemical gastric bypass, in my opinion. And these medications help to control your appetite, make your system work effective, and chemically and metabolically, they control your diabetes, weight loss, control your sleep apnea, and a lot of other cardiac and metabolic functions improve. Today's mission is to go through this maze which we all have to figure it out. If you go and try to get this medication on an average, depending on where you are, the financial reality is it can cost to you up to almost $1,400. And if you are tech savvy and you have all the resources which we will link in the description of the video, your cost could be between $0 to $499. The parent molecule is semaglutide. It's sold under two formulations. One is Ozempic, a vernacular name which we all use for semaglutide, and Wegovy. Ozempic is sold under trade name only for diabetes, and Wegovy is for your metabolic health and your obesity. Zepbound, the parent compound underneath a trizeptide, which is sold as Mounjaro for your diabetes indication and for your sleep apnea and weight management. What are the FDA criteria that you could get this medications? And this slide is very important because if you understand that, then you will have a smooth sailing with your primary care physician and you will understand your rights. And if your body mass index is less than 30 but more than 27, you have other medical problems like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, sleep apnea. You need to show it to the payer that this weight is complicating and this is leading to other complications or chronic medical problems. This is where we have everyday difficult discussions. Young ladies especially will show up with the perfect weight, BMI 25, 26, but they have a body image and they want to lose more. Unfortunately, a physician cannot give you a prescription unless your body mass index is more than 30 or is more than 27 plus. That is the most difficult and frustrating conversation we always have. And we want to make sure that you are clear. So remember your body mass index. Next, is your prices. If you go cash, this is what the prices are for Ozempic. Are getting injectable once a week, it's about $349. And if you're getting Zepbound, it is a little bit less. But as you will find out as we go along, this can change very quickly. You solve this maze of getting medication through three lenses. The first lens is patient assistance program. This is a purely a financial criteria. You must meet either you being diabetic or the BMI criteria which I add to it. But if you meet this financial criteria that you have 200% or below if you're diabetic and 400 if you are obese. And these criteria are very difficult to meet. You must provide them financial information, and they also want to see that you applied for Medicaid and you have been refused. What that indirectly tells you is they want to confirm or they don't want to give people this free medication on patient assistance program unless they really need it and they qualify financially and they are in between this part. I have seen many patients used to believe that if they fill in the form, doctor give the prescription, they are going to automatically get it. Because of the demand of this medication, the criteria are very stringent and you must have financial criteria 200% below poverty line for being diabetic and 400 for Wegovy. For Medicaid, they will definitely ask you for Medicaid 9 letter. For Eli Lilly, for your Mounjaro and Zepbound, pretty much the same criteria. And if you qualify financially, you will get it free. They will mail it to you directly and sometimes they will mail it to your doctor's office. Second is manufacturer pharmacies. Because there were a lot of compounding pharmacies and there were a lot of issues about the medication which has been given to the patient, they on these compounding pharmacies was not the real medication, and they have a lot of this stuff which we will explore together. So these Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, they opened up their own pharmacies. Basically, you still need a prescription from your doctor and you send it to Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, and you could get your medications directly from them. What it ensures is a manufacturer will provide you the right medication, so you are not getting something compounded which may not be the real active ingredient. So first path which we had was patient assistance program, which is purely financial. And the second tier is your direct pharmaceutical pharmacies. I truly believe if you are going to spend money, this is a better way to do that, because if there will be the changes which will happen in future where there is a talk now under Balance Act that there will be a flat price will be able to get. I think if I'm getting it directly from manufacturer, at least I'll be more satisfied that I'm getting the real medication and I'm not being gouged out of anything different. Next is the coupons. There has been a lot of questions and confusion. A lot of people came and asked that give them a prescription and they are going to trumprx.gov and they are going to get this medication free. These medication sites are not selling. They have some coupons. They are putting you to the resources or putting the resources together that you will be able to get this medication at a reasonable price and you will get the real medication. That is same thing is true for Mark Cuban Cost Plus drug program and GoodRx. On Mark Cuban Cost Plus, there is another medication which is a Liraglutide. Actually, that is the original medication which we used to use for diabetes as Victoza, as Saxenda, as for weight loss. Those are the original parent compound. Bad part or the negative on that medication is that it's a daily shot and daily pill, and the weight loss is about 80% of what you could expect on Ozempic. So it is a weaker medication, but there is a choice available on Mark Cuban Cost Plus drug program and also on Good RX. You should explore these options. What will happen if you meet the body mass index criteria, whether it's 30 or 27 plus, you have these 99% of the time your insurance is going to deny because they are not in the process of giving their shop away and they will deny it. Don't get frustrated because we see that once that gets right, you have up to 30 to 180 days, about 6 months to reappeal again. And the reappeal usually is basically they are trying to collect the data or they are going to make you jump through hoops. Why you need the medication? If you are a doctor and you have worked together and you're getting the medication for right reason, I don't see a problem. So the indication is already established. Second thing what they want is they want you to have a documented proof that you have done everything else because you're not going to the path of least resistance. A lot of things qualify for that supervised one. If you have been seeing a nutritionist or you have Nespal Pro, the app, and you have been tracking your calories and you could prove with the data. And third, some gym membership and you have been paying and going there. These are all qualifies as that you have done everything under supervision to do that part. And then once you get this, they may still deny it, but you still have to work with your provider and then continue to keep on going with the same. And you will find that eventually your doctor has to do will talk to the medical director or whoever matches the pharmacy, and they happen. Now, because everybody wants to be on this medication, and there was a real shortage in 23-24 time where the compounding pharmacies were allowed to sell that. That's where this chaos was created. So the compounding was done. There was a multiple weight loss clinics which are open, and every small or big town will have multiple the weight loss clinics because it becomes a business and a cost center. And their price was very different from, I've seen price ranging from 100 to 400 to 500. But the problem which arises is these compounding pharmacies were not honest. There are documented more than 600 cases where patients end up in a hospital. They were totally not ethical. That led to that FDA, once this Mounjaro shortage got fulfilled and then the Ozempic got done, they were not supposed to compound it anymore, but they kept on doing it anyway. Now we have a bunch of these businesses and they are not approved. As we are recording this, as we are talking in this session, there is no FDA approved compounding pharmacy which is allowed to compound it and sell it to you. I know there are a lot of online with telehealth services and a lot of weight loss clinics. Those are FDA cleared medications and you should not do business with. This question which I get asked every day on this thing, is there any FDA cleared semaglutide alternatives which you could get? Absolutely none. Actually, FDA has a consensus statement. They do not want you to be buying from any of these compounding pharmacies because A, is not approved. There are a lot of complications and processes which we have found it out. Red flags are, if you go and do an internet search, you will find a lot of pharmacies. They say that you don't need any prescription for getting Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound. Stay away from that. Make sure that approved FDA cleared places. And these are the verification tools which you could use, FDA Safe RX and then NABP Safe Site Search, and you could search the medical and pharmacy boards in each to know whether whatever you're getting from any online pharmacy, is it approved, is on a good list or not. Florida law, because we are in Florida, I had a question and I thought this is appropriate to answer it now. GLP-1 agonists are not controlled medications. So Florida law allows tele doctors to prescribe you GLP-1 agonists. You have a face-to-face connection with them, and there is a proper assessment, both with the history and visual examination, that can be given. But if you are told that you don't need to have any televisit, you don't need to have any evaluation, and you don't meet the real criteria of body mass index, that is something to stay from that. Why this thing is important and why FDA is pushing for it's about the total philosophy with which this medication is being. Obesity is not something which is short-term. Obesity you need to regard as a long-term chronic medical problem. And if you are going to handle it like high blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes, you are asking for commitment for lifelong. And that is where I find it very disturbing. Patients believe that they're going to take this medication for a short period of time, they're going to lose weight, and they're never going to go get weight. And that's where not the science is. If you're going to commit yourself to these medications, I truly believe it's a long term, and in many cases, it will be lifelong. There are two main problems which I seeing in my patients, and also the research is looking it up. Once you lose weight GLP, most of the weight loss is coming from muscle loss. And muscle is the metabolic engine. So people are losing muscle, they lose fat. But once they stop the medication, their metabolic engine is gone. Now they are gaining weight. In all these studies, people have gained 2/3 of the weight. They are gaining faster, and a lot of people are overshooting it. They started with 100%, they're going to 125%. And the reason is metabolic muscle. If you decide to take these medication, you are cutting into this. Second problem I see is that if you're going to take this medication, it must be accompanied with a lifestyle change. You must start doing exercise, meaning resistance exercise. You must ensure you don't start losing muscle mass. Second, increase protein in your diet, which also is showing to maintain the mass. But common effects with these medications are a lot. It's not a narcosis medication. A lot of people have a problem with the nausea thing is happening. And you must not take this medicine for life. So side effects is very common, and you must be prepared that you expect to gain weight if you're exercising, you didn't change your lifestyle. Do not commit yourself disease. Now, medical issue which we are facing, there is significant discussion price of these GLP-1 agonists, whether it's Ozempic or Mounjaro or Wegovy and Zepbound. Numbers have been floated. Some said people will be able to get for $50. Some will say they will get it for $75. Doesn't matter. There is a work together. They are trying to make these medications available. My issue with this whole process and journey which I'm seeing is because we do not want to give people to false sense that this medication will take care of them. and they are not committing for long term. Then the second thing which I doubt always is we are playing with our physiology. This GLP-1 agonist medications are not free from side effects. The whole world is taking this medication. I'm hoping that the data which is available publicly or published are very forthcoming, and people are not kind of cheated again with this trendy drugs which tend to give our health back, and we find out in future we will have to cover financially. Based on your financial criteria, you could get it for completely free. Second, if you have insurance, your insurance will initially deny. If you have right indications and you're persistent and you have a good primary care physician office who will work with you, you will be able to get the medication. Third, that if there are some public assistance program, Mark Cuban, TrumpRx.gov, GoodRx, they will help you to procure. But I am leaning more and more towards direct pharmacies from these manufacturers, because that way I could ensure that you're getting the real medication, because there has been a lot of instances where counterfeit Ozempic and Mounjaro has been floated in the United States. There are a lot of common questions which we have. I hope I have answered most of them in this discussion. What is the assistance program? The criteria are purely financial, and you will be able to find in the links. Can I get GLP through telemedicine? It is definitely legitimate. You could get GLP-1 agonist through televisit, but it must involve the history taking and examination. But if somebody tells you you could take it without prescription, and stay away from them and stay away from compounding pharmacies, your action plan is: number one, a real indication; two, check your financial criteria; number three, make sure you don't give up in first, because insurance companies rely on you as a patient and us as physicians at treason that we will not follow it up. They make this process so complicated. Sometimes it's very, very difficult. But a lot of things you have to do yourself. So you need to self-educate yourself. In the end, I want to leave you with a message. Start medication for real indication. Number two, make sure you check all the financial criteria. Number three, if you qualify, don't give in at your first visit. And this medication is definitely very, very effective. They are changing lives, but at the same time, they are not free from side effects. They are not placebo. They have real side effects. I hope I've cleared my point. You will get a lot of good resources in the description section. Apply for yourself. And if you have any suggestions, please comment. This is Dr. Kulmeet Kundlas, and I'm signing off. I have linked in another video which I believe you will like regarding diabetic medications and GLP-1 agonists. Thank you very much. Love you all.